Us scammers at NASA. JUNO's project is going to tell us, everyone, from us, just us though. We know the knowledge. And we're going to tell you the knowledge of how everything was created through JUNO's one little radiation experiment.
Poised to be able to make some great progress on learning about that step, not only to explain how
he almost messes up here right now.
How we got here, but how other solar systems that NASA's discovering in other star systems.
He says he's about to say galaxy star systems. I mean, people can call me crazy that he's messing up, but if you're, why is everyone so guilty explaining like mankind achievement? Like, why is everyone so fucking guilty?
Progress on learning about that step, not only to explain how our solar system formed and maybe how we got here, but how other solar systems that NASA's discovering in other star systems, how they
other star systems
get created. Jupiter's our example. And in order to accomplish the science objectives that we're set out to do and the measurements that we want, we have a set of tools on board.
I've already just ripped this guy up. The tool, he just calls them scientific tools on board. Never any pictures of him or anything, just animation again. There's too much coverage on just this guy. It's making me sick. You can break him down for 2 hours, like I said. Moving forward. I mean, this stuff is so simple. I could have wrote this whole conference last night. They don't really give you any data, so there's nothing really to fake as far as that. They just put together a few slideshows. They don't really have many images at all. It's kind of sad that they're able to pull this stuff off.
To leave the sun and enter Jupiter, and that's what you're going to hear.
Okay.
Intensity of the waves. It's from our waves instrument. So it's
it's the waves instrument that's collecting this data, but they're going to show you what that instrument did.
But the unique thing about that data is that data can be converted into
audio.
In other words, it's coming into a radio frequency.
I mean, pretty much any data can be converted into audio. What's he trying to say? Like, I can convert any data and make it into an audio format and play it, and it will be like some sort of static sound. But anyway, continue.
But we can hear some of those radio frequencies just like you hear music. So the human ear can hear about 20 to 20,000 hertz. Like we're measuring electromagnetic waves that are in that range.
You get a lot of this
so we
bullshit.
can convert those into audio, and we can actually listen to what it's like to leave the sun and enter Jupiter. And that's what you're going to hear.
Let's hear it.
And I have that animation.
Again, no data. Well, you'll see like bullshit data like on the bottom of this, but I'm gonna just rip it in 2 seconds, and then yeah, it's just garbage. Let's just get to it. Like, like they put a couple fucking calculus things down here, whatnot, and it must mean it's real. Oh, and then it shifted. Wow, amazing.
Just the sound of it can tell you it's non-trivial to go into Jupiter.
And the deflection with the joke.
And so what you just crossed was what scientists call a bow shock. It's the same kind of thing that you hear about if you're on a
boat.
About how a supersonic jet works, right? It flies through the fluid or the air and makes a shock in front, a shock wave. A boat going through the ocean creates a bow, right? Shock, a wave in front of that.
Shock a wave, brah.
That's what Jupiter's doing. It's plowing through the sun's domain, and it's
just plowing through, bro.
It's created this bow shock, and we just crossed it. So we're there.
We're crossed there.
We've got a lot to do on July 4th, and I'm still nervous. But
more comedy.
We crossed it. We're in
there.
Jupiter's domain at this point. and we're measuring the particles that are Jupiter, not the sun. So that was a big deal.
Yeah, big deal.
Eventually, how we explore the polar magnetosphere. Okay, and so for that first part, I'm going to turn to Steve Levin,
Okay.
a good friend of ours.
His little thing, he is mad. This is my interpretation of this. I think he had more that he was supposed to say. Like, just look at the way they're looking at each other right now. He had more that he was supposed to say, and he wasn't expecting, like, that he was going to deflect to him and have him start. Because you'll see his reaction towards the end of this. I don't want to catch much more of his snobby behavior. I hate his attitude. He probably knows nothing about anything.
Eventually, how we explore the polar magnetosphere. Okay, and
He's just a bullshit artist.
so for that first part, I'm going to turn to Steve Levin.
Ooh, he just got a little displeased. He has to start.
A good friend of ours.
He does not want to have to do his little talk. He wasn't ready. He knew that he had more.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm fucked. I don't know anything. You can come to your own conclusions, but I just think that these guys are hypnotists, professional speakers more than anything, more than they are scientists at NASA.
We'll look at the whole polar magnetosphere, and you're going to hear that in a little bit. But a lot of what JUNO is about is looking inside of Jupiter, seeing what is in the interior. And we basically have scientific instruments that look inside the planet in every way we know how.
So getting back to those scientific instruments, like, yeah, of course we expect you to have scientific instruments that explore every single last detail of the planet. We're giving you billions of dollars. Like, you don't have to keep reiterating this fact. We get it. Just show us the data.
And that's what you're going to hear in the next couple of talks, is different ways to look inside of Jupiter.
He only talks about one number that is important. So there's a bunch of different ways we're going to look into Jupiter, but there's really only one number that's important. Again, like, they're trying to simplify the science behind NASA because it's getting too hard to cover up now, and we're just going to have to go to just doing probes because faking manned missions is just getting too hard. And the probes themselves, we don't really want to show them data. We just want to show them, like, people telling you about what's going on. Unreal, man.
This magnetosphere crossing, we're going to look at the whole... So we're there.
We're
We
there.
still got a lot to do on July 4th, and I'm still nervous. But we crossed it. We're in Jupiter's domain at this point, and we're measuring the particles that are Jupiter, not the sun. So that
Wow.
was a big deal.
That was a big deal. You hear that? The particles. Big breathe in there. Let's go back to that. They're nervous. For what reason? They're telling us a great find of humanity. Like, wow, what are they nervous about? I don't understand. I don't understand.
That was a big deal. So JUNO does other kinds of science. I mean, besides the recipe and this magnetosphere crossing,
recipe
we're
or
going to look at the whole polar magnetosphere, and you're going to hear that in a little bit. But a lot of what JUNO is about is looking inside of Jupiter, seeing what is in the interior. And we basically
Whatever,
have
I'm done with this
scientific-
guy. Anyway, he deflects to this guy.
Good friend of ours. Okay, and so for that first part, I'm going to turn to Steve Levin, good
Who
friend of
does
ours.
not want to talk?
Hi. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the microwave radiometer.
Now, I couldn't think of the name of the show when I did this video, when I already did a video about this video. But this guy looks like he could be on Tim and Eric's awesome show, great job. Like he looks like one of those guys, or he looks like he could. He's wearing the glasses, and his goofy explanations of space just make me think it's like I'm watching Adult Swim. But anyway, we'll continue.
Instrument, and how we measure.
Just the way he talks too. Just I don't think he's. I think he might be smart, but his labeling, all of them have like a pretty long label. His label is just scientist. So let's see. His name is Steve Levin. We'll see that deflection.
Friend of ours.
Hi. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the microwave radiometer instrument and how we measure what's probably the single most important number that Juno's going to bring back from Jupiter.
Just one number. Billions of dollars. We just want one number though. Just a single most important number.
And that's how much water does Jupiter have. The amount of water inside Jupiter is crucial to understanding how the solar system formed, because it's crucial to understanding how did Jupiter formed. If Jupiter formed far from the sun, where it's cold, out of blocks of ice, frozen water at that great distance, you'll get a different amount of water inside Jupiter than if it formed closer to the sun, where it is now, or if it formed some other way than from starting with blocks of ice. So just by measuring that one number, the amount of water inside Jupiter,
This guy's
we
a
can learn a
clown.
lot about how Jupiter formed, and that teaches us not just about Jupiter, but about the whole solar system, about how solar systems form, because Jupiter formed sort of out of the leftovers from the sun, and the rest of the planets formed out of the leftovers from Jupiter.
One of the most telling faces of the whole conference. Let's just hear that line again. Oh, he's like, shit. I hope they believe that. Hope they believe the leftover thing. Oh shit. Oh shit. I blew it. They're gonna kill me.
Systems form because Jupiter formed sort of out of the leftovers from the sun, and the rest of the planets formed out of the leftovers from Jupiter.
What did he just say? Leftovers?